Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. I'm not really sure what to think about Ryan Garcia and potentially fighting Manny Pacquiao. In case you guys didn't know, Oscar De La Hoya is now looking to possibly make a Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, we know Pacquiao's looking to get back to the ring. Pacquiao seems to be destined for a big money fight. Can't blame him. If you guys didn't know, Pacquiao lost a huge lawsuit recently. Talking about up to $8 million, right? And he has to pay that money. And Pacquiao he's not in a great position right now, because I don't care how much money he made in his career. There have been rumors for years that Manny Pacquiao isn't financially stable. Now, I'm not in his pocket. I don't know. But I know that Pacquiao does a lot for people. I know Pacquiao doesn't care a lot about money. It's more about the impact he can have on the world and people. But that being said, don't for 1 second think Manny Pacquiao's okay with having this $8 million now debt, okay, that he has to resolve because as a result of the lawsuit. And don't think for a second that Manny Pacquiao is trying to figure out another way to make money. He's going to do what he knows. You know, he was talking about coming back, possibly fighting Kell Brook, possibly fighting Conor Ben. We know he's done a few exhibitions. The Conor Ben and Kell Brook stuff, they kind of got quiet. And now there's a potential for this happening. No one knows what Manny Pacquiao is going to do. But this is what we need to understand. There's a couple things here that are very, very interesting and important. As one, Pacquiao must fight on. And I'm saying he must fight on because he keeps coming back and talking about competing at the highest level. And then now you know that obviously he got the issues with money, and he running to become president in the Philippines. That didn't work out. And obviously there's something deep down in Pacquiao's a burning desire for him to continue fighting and trying to fight at the highest level. Because that's in him, he has to fight on until he can accept the fact that, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Now, you can look at Roy Jones Jr. He's still out here fighting. Very similar situation. The only thing is, we know, right? We know for a fact that Roy Jones financially is in dire straits. We don't know, for a fact, everything going on with Pacquiao financially. But we do know that there's some ups and downs there. There's some money that this man has to pay with this lawsuit, but he gave a lot of money away. Maybe some of his business decisions weren't the best. But that being said, we can't come out here and say Pacquiao is exactly like Roy Jones, but there's some similarities where you get a guy who retired, wants to keep fighting. A guy who feels he can perform at the highest level. He got in there, he got, tranquilized, messing around with Ugas. Then again, Ugas has a Heredia working in his corner. No, I'm not saying there's any foul play there. I'm just saying Ugas had Heredia in his corner. And I'm going to keep saying that shit for anybody who works with Heredia. I didn't say anything crazy, did I? I just want to put that out there to y'all to understand that. But Roy Jones Jr.'s situation and Pacquiao's situation, let me tell you the main contrast between the two. Is Roy Jones. His situation was so bad, this man went out there to Russia and signed a contract to try to help the fighters out there and help with the amateur program, and also to have a couple fights. And in turn, the Russian government would pay off all of his debt. Now that is crazy, but people got to do what they have to do. Roy Jones had the whole music thing that didn't work out. He had business ventures. This man had stores. He had clubs. He had real estate deals. Roy Jones had a lot of stuff that just didn't work out. I'm not making this up. You can go look this up on the internet. Take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I say, look at Roy Jones. He refuses to do an exhibition. Why? I don't know. I have a hunch that exhibitions is something that I have a feeling Roy Jones is doing what he's told. I'll put it to you that way. I honestly feel Roy Jones has got himself, I'm not using this word to be funny, in an entanglement with the wrong people. And he kind of has to do what he's told. You can't tell me that a guy like Roy Jones, no matter how prideful he is, or any fighter, right, at the advanced age that he is going to turn down doing exhibitions where there's little to no damage at all to make a few million. They're going to turn that down and just decide to go out here and have a no-kidding sanctioned boxing match, straight up full contact, getting your head beat in. Makes no sense to me. That's why I think, and I don't know this, I'm just a common sense man. I think Roy Jones he has to do certain things. And I think when you sell I think he got himself in a situation. I'll leave it as that. But that being said, Manny Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia. Does it happen? Who knows? But let's understand a few more things here. Remember about a year and 3 months ago, don't forget, I've done several videos on this. Oscar De La Hoya said he wants to sell Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya said Golden Boy Promotions is worth $1 billion. I did a video on it called Golden Boy Promotions, Crack House for Sale. Let me tell you something. That damn Golden Boy Promotion is not worth no damn $1 billion. Ridiculous to come out here and suggest it's worth $1 billion. $1 billion company. How? We understand who De La Hoya is. We know what he did as a pro. We understand his marketability. We understand endorsement deals, promotional deals. We understand De La Hoya is a brand. But $1 billion? I just, he even came out like a month or two after he made that announcement about potentially selling the company on Twitter, saying that he had some investors who were interested in putting up the $1 billion. But that's neither here nor there. But what that tells me is De La Hoya is all about cashing out his fighters. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, went out there and put Zudo Ramirez, threw him to the wolves, right? Didn't work out so well against Bivol. You got Ortiz now. Going to see how Ortiz does against Danny Yunus. I think Ortiz will get Danny Yunus, but that's a tough fight. You got Munguia. He was looking to put Munguia out there, trying to match him up for a title shot. Decided not to do those things. Got him fighting Derevinchenko, which I still think is not going to go as planned, but again, it's a much safer route. Then with Ryan Garcia, throwing him to the wolves to Tank Davis. They knew that Ryan Garcia wasn't ready for no damn Tank Davis. Threw him out there. They made a bunch of money. De La Hoya was happy. He ain't show up to that press conference, that post-fight press conference though, but he was happy. So now you got Ryan Garcia. He realizes that, you know what, Ryan, and I'm going to tell you, Ryan Garcia had a lot to do with those pay-per-view numbers hitting that 800,000 to 1.2, 1.4 million. Who knows what it did, right? But he had a lot to do with the pay-per-view numbers doing more than what Tank has averaged, okay? That being said, when it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, and this is my opinion, I don't feel he has Ryan Garcia's best intentions in mind. I personally think, and I said it before, Ryan Garcia needs to get rid of Joe Goosen. He's done that. He needs to get the hell from over there with Golden Boy Promotions. He hasn't done that. He needs to buy out his contract. I'm sure he can do that. But De La Hoya is not going to let him go. I mean, really, when you look at it, who's the flagship fighter over there for Golden Boy? And at this moment, it's Ryan Garcia. You know, Canelo lost. Canelo left, De La Hoya still hasn't recovered from the heartbreak he endured as a result of Canelo Alvarez getting the hell from over there. But for Ryan Garcia, if he wants to really advance his career, he has a new trainer. I'm not sure Derek James is the best trainer for Ryan Garcia in his style, but he decided to go over there. He's got to figure out what he's doing. De La Hoya, putting him in with Pacquiao. Let me tell y'all something. That old Filipino, he's no joke. And I know you all agree. I don't like the way Pacquiao in his last couple of fights seems to be, kind of rushing shots and not really getting much steam on his punches. But I'm telling you right now, for Manny Pacquiao and just him being a freak of an athlete, right? With Ryan Garcia, I just think this is the worst time if they were to make this Garcia fight versus Pacquiao. It's the worst time to put Garcia into a Pacquiao. You know why? Because Pacquiao is going to be business as usual. Pacquiao's not trying to change trainers and change the style. He'll have Bull Boy. I mean, Freddie Roach may be a bit involved. Pacquiao's business as usual. Ryan Garcia transitioned from Eddie Reynoso to Joe Goossen. Joe Goossen did nothing with him, in my opinion. Now he's transitioning from Joe Goossen to Derek James. And now you want to take him and possibly put him in a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Have they not learned from Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin? There's going to be a lot. He's going to be basically drinking from a water hose. And to come into a fight with a guy like Manny Pacquiao, trying to display the things that Derek James has been working on him with, I mean, you want to come out there, man, and test drive. You just get your driver's license, and you want to go out there now, and make sure that the driver's classes that you've attended and a little bit of driving around with someone there, kind of an instructor. And now now you got your license, you want to come down and jump out on the highway? You crazy? No, you need to stay right here on these little streets, these little avenues right here in the little safe subdivision. And then once you get comfortable, you realize, okay, I understand how to use the indicator. I can anticipate traffic. I'm defensive minded when I'm driving. I know how to kind of, peripheral vision to see what's going on. I can, got the whole, 10-2, you look in the rearview mirror, you can look at the side mirrors, you can bring it all together. Then you go out there. And that's what I think it is with Ryan Garcia and all the stuff he's learning. He's getting a permit. He's going to get a license. And as a result, just because you get a license don't mean you just jump right out there on the damn highway driving at 75 miles an hour. No. And that's what it is to me. He's going to be awarded a driver's license, and he's going to go out there on the highway. When you got a guy like Pacquiao, who's been, out there on the highway for years. He's accustomed. He knows how to move. He's coming fast. And now you're out there trying to figure things out, and you're apprehensive because you kind of know what to do because you learned it, but you haven't really executed the training. You know what I'm saying? So you get out there and you're all uncomfortable, and you know what happens? Bad shit happens. Someone dies. And I think if Ryan Garcia gets into with Manny Pacquiao, I think Manny Pacquiao right now will tranquilize Ryan Garcia. And I'm not trying to be funny. And you can say, hey man, hood champion, hold your horses. You're taking it to the stupid. I'll tell you, hold your horses. Ryan Garcia needs to take it to Rolly Romero. That's the fight to make. Rolly Romero is transitioning as well. It's like you got this whole thing going from being a male to a female, the whole gender reassignment, all this weird shit that's going on in the world. That's what they're both doing. Rolly Romero, same thing. You saw him in his fight against Barroso. Rolly Romero didn't know what the hell he wanted to do in there. He felt some power. Obviously, there was some power coming from that damn Venezuelan. But Rolly was lost. You basically had a guy like Rolly where you try to teach him all this new stuff, right? And same thing. You got a new driver's license, right? Driving in another country on the left side of the road. And you out there with this guy that's Venezuelan who's been driving on the left side of the road for 20 years. Yeah, with your training and your little bit of instruction, you know kind of what you're supposed to do, but you're apprehensive about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't quite been on the left side of the road driving in a while, and you got the steering wheel on the other side of the vehicle. And you know what happens when you get out there? And everybody else is sipping around. I've been doing it forever. Bad things can happen. You can get killed. And Rolly Romero almost got killed in that fight. And he was getting touched up and banged up. But you know what he did? He ended up parking that vehicle for most of those rounds, didn't he? He wasn't trying to get caught up in none of that shit. But then he came out there, man, and he had some success. And he was able to get to his final destination, which was to get the win by knockout with a little bit of help from the referee. But it is what it is. But I think that's the perfect opponent. Ryan Garcia goes to 140, fights Rolly, picks up a title. Because it's really hard to. I put it to you this way. I think Ryan Garcia has a better chance against Rolly than he does against Pacquiao. I'm just being honest with you. Y'all can say what you want. But I'll tell you this, when you take a look at, these people out here on Twitter and you see what people are saying, they're saying, look, if Manny comes out of retirement to fight Ryan, then Floyd better come out to fight Tank. Well, that's not going to happen. Let me make this a little bit larger for you guys, okay? Yes, I don't get the hate. Ryan and Manny would make a good fight. Pacquiao's still in very good shape. I already told you, I think Pacquiao beats him. Manny's old enough to be his father. Oscar needs to leave that alone. Let that man enjoy retirement. Oscar's going to do what he has to get the money, man. Post KSI versus Tommy Fury, not this. I think he meant first KSI versus Tommy Fury, not this. Oscar is the worst thing that could possibly happen to Ryan's career. Well, it looks like a lot of people have that same opinion or share that same sentiment as myself. Leave Manny alone, put Ryan in there with Rolly or Regis. It's really that simple. I think Rolly is the fight to make. Rolly, yes. Regis, no. Yeah, Regis will kill Ryan Garcia. Ryan will still lose to the old Manny. Truth. I don't know what Oscar is doing. Truth. But he's after the bag. Truth. Serious. Time for Ryan Garcia to leave Oscar. Truth. Garcia needs a new promoter. Hey, man, I agree. But I tell you what, if you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, I'll tell you what, they're trying to get that paycheck. But understand this. Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao. Listen, this isn't Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather. This isn't a Pacquiao that's going to come out and get 2 million pay-per-view sales. I don't think so. But I think they can hit some really good numbers. But you got to understand, there are a lot of people there in the Philippines with Pacquiao. They're just not going to come out and support that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Pacquiao had a different kind of energy around him. Tranquilizing opponents, super talented. People felt he was super nice. Then the whole thing about religion, an example to people, taking care of poor people, giving back to everyone, especially his fellow countrymen. Politics, you know what I'm saying? The energy he had around him when he was active is totally different than now. There are a lot of people feel like he shouldn't be fighting anymore. He wasn't able to win the presidency because many Filipinos, although they love him for who he is, they realize that this man never finished, I don't even think, what did he have, like a 5th grade education or something? But reading, writing, comprehension is not his strength. You're going to have him the president of the country, and he struggles with comprehension and writing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the experience of being a politician, especially a president. His heart, his moral compass is in the right place, but it takes more than someone who just wants to do right. And there are a lot of Filipinos out there. I think they're going to always support him, but I don't know about the pay-per-view thing anymore. Maybe, I think a lot will, but I say maybe half. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, Manny Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia, it just, if De La Hoya does, if there's any way possible he can shake De La Hoya loose, he'll buy out his contract, go somewhere else. He should do it because De La Hoya, man, if he makes that fight, I just think it's bad medicine. That being said, man, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. And you can see just from what's out there on toxic Twitter, the majority of people share that sentiment that Pacquiao and Garcia could be a good fight. They got Pacquiao winning, but they don't think that Oscar De La Hoya should be looking to put Garcia into a Pacquiao. They feel Rolly Romero, to me, is the optimal choice. But, you know, who are we? We're just people who have conversations. That being said, Manny Pacquiao's 45, hasn't fought in 2 years. But let me tell you something. Danish Yugas, Ryan Garcia is not Danish Yugas. And who knows what weight they're going to make the fight at. 140, 147? We have to wait and see. But then again, this is all just a conversation because nothing's been firmed up yet. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. And plus, I don't think Derrick James is going to let that happen if he has any say. In the breeze.